Happy Easter. Blessing to everyone's family. Christ is risen. For today's episode, I thought it would be so much fun to dish out different appetizers we can do for Easter that's simple and easy. You don't need a lot to put it all together. Today's topic is coalitions with Chris Chavez. He's our special guest on the show today. So without further ado, I'm Adriana Murphy, your All-American Girl, and today we're cooking with politics.
Hi guys, welcome back. Happy Easter. So like I said, we have a very special guest on Cooking with Politics today. It's Chris Chavez. He's here to talk about coalitions. Chris, introduce yourself.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. This is a dream of mine to be on your cooking show. I've asked her many times over the last few weeks to be a part of this, so I'm really glad that she committed and brought me on. Well, my name's Chris. I oversee the coalitions and alliances at Turning Point Action. All of our coalitions are there to help chase the vote, bring people together within their communities, and help us win in November.
Awesome. So Chris is here to teach us how to do deviled eggs. The dish for the episode is deviled eggs and cream cheese, bell peppers. It's kind of like what he's bringing to the cookout and what I'm bringing to the cookout this Easter. So we just thought it would be a fun dish to put together. He shows me his and I show him mine, and we'll see which one is better to take to the cookout. So Chris, here's the deviled eggs. As we continue in the show, we'll talk about coalitions, but first let's tell our audience how you did these.
Sure. So we started with a whole pack of pasture-raised eggs. I think those are some of the best eggs to use and to cook with. Boiled them on high for about 12 minutes. You get the water to boiling, then you take it to medium heat, put your eggs in, take it back to the heat as high as you can get it, go about 12 minutes to get all those eggs thoroughly cooked. And now we have them resting here in our bowl. You don't want to get a bowl of ice water, put them all in there immediately after boiling. That way it almost flash freezes them, so to speak, and we can start with our deviled eggs. Okay,
so these are in the cold water. What is next? What's our go-to right now? Are we cracking?
Yes. So the next thing we're going to be doing is cracking these open. There is a bit of a trick to it. And you want me to come over here?
Yeah, come on over here. I'll move this. Perfect. So we actually have a second camera for POV where Chris will be showing us how to do it. So.
All right. So we're just going to take this. Can I crack it here?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take our eggs. And then we're just going to crack them, just go around. And then do it again. On the longer side. This will make the egg a little bit easier to open.
Perfect. Okay, so talk to me about coalitions. What is this coalitions for everyone at home that doesn't know what coalitions are?
Sure. Essentially, coalitions are where people can come together within their communities and be a part of a group that aligns with them, whether it's their beliefs or their person as themselves. Oh, look at that. You're cracking that one a hole.
I know.
I'll take one.
There you go.
Thank you. It's getting people to come together. And we did a lot of coalitions in the past, as far as I've done with politics. Lots of coalitions in the past. One of the most successful ones, I would say, here in Arizona at least, was our Hispanics coalition. And it's already growing here in Arizona exponentially. But we have 7 coalitions at Turning Point Action. We've got moms, farmers and ranchers, Latinos, educators, let's see, Black Americans, healthcare workers.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm missing one. One or two. Oh, that came out. Look at that.
Yeah, I messed up on one.
No worries.
Okay, so.
And our faith coalition, of course.
Oh, awesome.
Our faith coalition is very broad. We've got a lot of different faiths that are going to be coming together and working out of this faith coalition. So I was like, there's one more. I couldn't remember what it was, but that's it.
Nice. So that's 7 coalitions. That's a lot of bases for people to, get involved through different bases, what connect to them in their life. For example, my mother is a nurse, so I would assume she would go to the healthcare. You said healthcare workers coalition. However, I do know some farmers and ranchers that would be perfect for your farmers and ranchers coalition.
Love to have them join.
And definitely, I'll let them know.
If your mom is a part of healthcare, the beauty of coalitions is that it's very versatile and you can kind of put people in different places. You can have them be a part of multiple coalitions. So for example, your mom's a healthcare worker. She's also a mom. She could be in moms and healthcare workers.
Oh my God, that's so true. So like you can be in like multiple things.
That's right.
Wow. Okay, so talk to me one by one. For anyone who is looking to get involved with Turning Point Action through their coalitions, we'll put that at the end of the episode. But walk us through each coalition and just give us a bullet point of, I don't know where you want to start. This coalition base is like new to me, so
sure.
Lead us.
So coalitions, each coalition has 3 to 4 tenets that it stands for. For example, the moms, they stand for parental authority, ending woke curriculum in the schools for their children, suspending explicit content in the classrooms, and teaching accurate curriculum to kids. Mm-hmm. We see it too often where educators and teachers in the schools think that they have the rights over what the parents have to say, and that's just not the case. So we're giving moms and that's not just for educators, that's moms in general. Mm-hmm. We're giving the power back to the parents. So that's one of our tenets with moms. We have our other coalitions as well. I'm jumping around here. Throw this away.
Oh, I think I lost an egg.
What's that? Uh-oh.
Like I said in past, guys, things that happen in the kitchen are real. So, you guys are getting the actual footage. Okay, Chris, so let's get back into that conversation.
Yeah.
What is the next step to these deviled eggs?
Sure. So the next step is we want to make sure that there's no shell. See how we have some residual shell left on this? We want to make sure there's no shell because you don't want to eat that.
Okay.
So usually I try to wash them, but we got water right there. We don't actually have to go to the sink.
Oh, I guess we could dip them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what's the next coalition other than moms?
The next one is Latinos. So this one, like I said, has been very successful in the past. So we're just trying to recreate it and actually build on coalitions, this Latinos coalition that's already been implemented, not only in Arizona, but across the country. Some tenets that those follow are family values, promoting Hispanic businesses, and championing economic freedom. It's also, some of these tenets also bleed into other coalitions because these are things that other coalitions care about. For example, Black Americans, they have a very similar set of tenets that they abide by.
That's very, very interesting. Are you looking for a knife? I can get you a knife. There's a knife right here. So I'm assuming the next step is to open them?
Yes. So the next step is we want to make sure we cut them as evenly as possible right down the middle.
Oh, right down the middle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if they're a little misformed that way, that's okay.
Okay. And are we scooping out the...
So we can either scoop them out or you can just pop them out. I tend to pop them out and it's easier so you don't end up cutting the white.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So sorry, cut you off.
You're good. You're good.
Wow. So Latinos coalition, that's very interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the next coalition?
Being Hispanic myself, I've noticed we're almost a third of the electorate here in Arizona, mm-hmm. which is major for elections. So we want to make sure that those voices are being heard. A lot of Hispanics are generally more conservative than they believe they are. They're, mm-hmm. They're not Kennedy Democrats of the 60s anymore. A lot of Republicans, or I should say a lot of Hispanics, are very conservative based on those tenets that I had mentioned. Think mm-hmm. about it, they talk about promoting family values and small businesses. These are things that matter to Hispanics across the country. So it's definitely going to be, according to our data, it's going to be one of our biggest coalitions that we work on. Another one would be farmers and ranchers, and this one gets overlooked.
Farmers and ranchers, right. I knew about that.
Farmers and ranchers get overlooked a lot here in America, and without
Definitely.
them, we wouldn't be able to have this wonderful food.
No, absolutely. We need to support our farmers and ranchers. I come from a very ag state, so it's very important to me that they're getting represented, especially since I just feel like Big Pharma and Big Gov doesn't want local farms to raise our food. Oh, oops, I broke this actually. To raise our food and to take care of our people, which is, you and me.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And that's
like they're supposed to. So
these are some of the things that the Farmers and Ranchers Coalition stands for, specifically addressing land rights and agriculture, tackling water issues, combating foreign acquisition of farmland. That's a really big one here in the United States because a lot of people don't know, China has a lot of investments in farm and agriculture here in the country.
Wow,
So,
really?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh my goodness. You don't hear that every day. So like I'm assuming other countries. It's not just China.
It's not just China, but it's mostly China and Bill Gates, of course, and protecting ranchers' land, livestock, and businesses. So those are some of the things that our farmers care about. It's people in rural communities. These things matter to them. And again, without our farmers and ranchers, none of this show probably wouldn't be possible. Probably because we'd all starve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm a big farmers and ranchers girl. Okay, so most of these are cut. I destroyed one. So sorry about that. But yes, all the yolk itself part is pretty much in this bowl, guys. And it was pretty easy to do, although I'm scared of ripping more. Chris, do you want to take over?
Sure. I don't mind at all.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to rip more.
I've always been afraid of doing that. I just kind of lightly pop them out. I've seen people on YouTube and other videos across the internet where they go and where they use a spoon and they just scoop them out. I don't think that's super useful depending on the type of eggs you're using. Just because I end up destroying all the whites. So
yeah,
I do that myself. Very common thing. So we're almost done here. As you can see, this egg yolk turned out almost perfect here. I let it go about 10 to 12 minutes. Realistically, you want to do 12 minutes so they're thoroughly cooked. Don't want to get any foodborne illnesses, but
we're tough cookies. We can handle it. We've had our ivermectin for the day.
So true. So it should look like this. These are all going to be your yolks, and these are all your other seasonings. Obviously, one of the first ones is going to be mayo. We're going to use mayo with avocado oil, so there's no seed oils in this.
Nice.
Thankfully, we're going to be using regular mustard. Some folks like to use regular and Dijon. I'm personally not a huge fan of Dijon, so we'll just stick to regular. And pickle juice. So it's something, and the secret ingredient in our $1 million deviled eggs here is butter.
Oh my god! So, very southern of you. Okay, butter, y'all. I love using butter.
I've got roots in Tennessee, so gotta love that southern cooking. So we're gonna take about a spoonful of mayo here, maybe about 2 of them, depending on the size of your spoon.
Okay.
And we can add to this if we need to. We're gonna do it along with the taste. So then you're going to take that and then your mustard. Make sure your mustard's upside down so all the juices come together, they emulsify. You don't want it to be all gross.
So here comes the mustard, and then what's next?
So then we're going to take, I usually start with these 3, the mayo, the mustard, and the pickles. So we're going to take our pickle juice. We're going to use all of this.
Pickle juice?
Pickle juice, yes.
Oh my goodness.
So we're going to just a little bit, just to give it a little flavor there. Then use some butter, and you want to make sure your butter is softened at room temperature so it's easier to, mush together there. If you have butter that is right out of the fridge, it's going to be a little bit harder to put your mixing together.
Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, he's either a mad genius or he's crazy. So we'll see. We'll see at the end of these.
We'll see how these turn out. I usually cut these into 4s and then kind of just drop them in there.
Okay. So like I said, this is Chris's recipe. So if this doesn't turn out well, it's on Chris.
It's a mix of my recipe plus a million other recipes that I found online. So we'll see how this works. So we're going to take our pink Himalayan sea salt.
Okay.
I'm going to sprinkle that in there. And take some black pepper. Sprinkle that in there. Again, all this can be to seasoning, to taste. We're going to take a little bit of dill because we've already got our pickle in there. So a little bit of dill is going to go a long way. And then this was for the peppers, right? Yeah.
Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so now that all these dry ingredients and some wet ingredients are together, you're going to take your fork and you're going to start mushing it all together. See if we have enough mixing for the here.
Here, I have a little something better. I bet I could beat you on this.
Oh,
this
look at that.
Will definitely
use the right tool for the job, right?
This is a pro right here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so tell me about the rest of the Farmers and Ranchers Coalition.
Sure. Well, these are going to be, this is going to be a coalition that's primarily focused out of the Midwest, obviously, because we've got most of our urban folks out there in the Midwest. You want to scoop a little bit off that.
Boop. Teamwork.
Teamwork. Makes the dream work. So we've got most of our folks stationed out in the Midwest. We've got Turning Point reps working with people within their communities. one of the biggest things about these coalitions that I wanted to touch on was, we like to pride ourselves in being different from all previous campaigns in voter contact and getting these coalitions put together. And the way that we're doing that is by being neighborly. It's the one thing that we like to focus on at Turning Point is being neighborly, because
you don't hear that often.
No, it's more about being robotic and collecting data in this day and age than it is about being neighborly. So instead of going to someone's door and being like, what's the most important issue facing Arizona and America to you? That's the old school way of doing it. We're taking a new approach and saying, going to someone's door, bringing them brownies and saying, hey, I'm having a barbecue next weekend. I know we don't talk much as neighbors, but I would love for you and your family to come over and join us on this barbecue. Here's some brownies I made for you. That's just being neighborly, getting to know your neighbors. You're not talking politics. You're not asking who they're voting for. You're just getting them to come and hang out with you and your friends and family. That's it. It's all about relational organizing and being neighborly.
That is one of a kind right there. I think we definitely need to bring that back.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is all whisked up.
Perfect. Oh, one final ingredient that I don't think I talked about too much was sugar. Now, we're not going to add much. This is a lot, but we're just going to add a little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh my goodness,
a little goes a long way with
the pickle juice and now the sugar.
It's not stuff you see too often in deviled eggs, but it goes a long way, trust me.
Interesting.
All right, so we're going to try this before we put them into our spread.
Okay.
So if you want to try, I'll just... What do you think?
I think it's good.
Do you think it needs more of anything?
I think it needs a little more pepper, personally.
I agree.
Personally,
I think it needs a little more salt, a little more pepper.
Yeah. Just a little... You know what? I grew up with taste.
A little more pickle juice. You grew up what?
I grew up with a lot of taste, so I don't do well with just like
where it's a little bland, a little too bland. No, I agree. I've gone overboard in making these before with different seasonings, and so I just want to make sure that everything tastes up to par.
Okay.
And if we need to add more mayo or mustard, we can do that too.
Now, better. Much, much better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, much better.
Okay, so now we have this. What's next? How does this get into this?
Sure. So we're going to take our bag.
Okay.
It can be any bag, sandwich baggie if you don't have, one of those baker's filling bags. And it's really simple. What you'll do is you'll take this, you put it in the bag, you get some scissors, and you clip the tip off right here. It sounds kind of crazy, but I promise it works.
Okay, we have scissors right here, by the way.
Okay, so we'll do that after we load that in here.
Wow, okay, that seems easy, actually.
If you want to hold that open for me.
Yeah.
Cool. You can see if we have enough filling to fill all these little white egg.
Hopefully.
Sure I'm not spilling any.
Oh. Okay. Okay, guys. This seems pretty easy, except when you're putting it in this bag, I'd probably do one scoop at a time.
Yeah, it's kind of a two-person job if you're trying to put it in the bag. Let's see. Get all of it out.
There we go.
Wonderful.
All right.
Now you just want to put it over to one side, whichever one you want. Make sure we close the bag too, because it'll leak out from that.
Yeah. That's a smart idea.
It has happened a few times, so.
It's hard to close. All this egg everywhere.
Liquid
surprised there's no egg on my face. Jokester over here. Okay. And then you just cut the side.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. Okay, so now we have our eggs over here. I'm assuming we will be filling them up.
Yep. So we'll start from the center because you want to make sure that you get all the eggs and you don't make the bag messy.
Perfect. Okay, so we've talked about moms, we've talked about Latinos, we've talked about farmers and ranchers. What is the next coalition?
Another one would be educators. And this one is really important because, in my opinion, education is one of the bedrocks of this nation. And we always want to make sure that our kids are receiving the best education that they can get, whether that's in private, public, or chartered schools. The the biggest thing with educators is making sure that they are teaching the right curriculum to our kids. So the 3 tenets that Educators Coalition stands for is school choice, ending woke curriculum, and free speech. If you notice, some of these tenets, like I said, they do repeat themselves. But it's also...
I think that's very... what really just got me right now. You said free speech. I think that's very interesting to put in a coalition, especially a educators coalition, just because it's like so many things have been banned from school that, you know, a teacher can talk about.
That's right.
But then they allow the most crazy things that a teacher can do with the children. So I'm just like, I don't know. Continue, please.
No, you're good. Go off. It's infuriating sometimes, the things you see on TV or the things you see on social media about what's going on with educators these days. Yeah. And again, it's so important because it's critical to the future of America, you know, making sure that our youth is prepared to become adults, to become functioning members of a society. So yeah. See, I don't know if we'll be able to fill all these.
Well, to be fair, Chris is giving these eggs a lot.
Like
a lot of love.
A lot of ratio here.
So you guys should have enough. That's okay. One will be eaten off camera.
You get as much out as you possibly can.
Nice. Well, these look great. So again, the Educators Coalition obviously sounds like it caters towards the educators, but also in support of families.
That's right. And I think it can also work in conjunction with the Moms Coalition. Like I said, the tenets are very similar. Yeah. So, and you have very similar causes to each of those coalitions. Sometimes you have moms that are educators. My mom is an educator. You know, so shout out to her. But
shout out to you, Mom. Yeah, Mama Chris, I love you.
She's an educator and she's a mom, so she would be able to go in between both of those types of coalitions. But those are things that would be important to her.
I love that.
So the next step for our deviled eggs is to, and it's the final step, I should say, for our deviled eggs, is to add the paprika.
Paprika, okay.
So we're just going to sprinkle it. Again, go around from the center and around, and make sure you cover. In my opinion, I like to cover the whites because the whites don't have as much taste as I would like, but so I try to cover as much of the white part of the deviled egg as I possibly can.
This is fun.
Probably
like decorating.
Probably one of the easiest parts of the deviled egg process.
Yeah. Well, they look good. So guys, sorry to disappoint you. We will not be tasting these just yet until the end when I do my bell peppers and we bring them to the competition. So guys, we're going to pause right now and get ready for our second step, which is my turn to go over my dish, which is our cream cheese filled bell peppers. We'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're back. So like I said, we are doing cream cheese filled bell peppers. I want to show you guys, it's just these mini ones that you can get at the grocery store. And specifically, you want to do the orange ones for Easter. You can make them look like carrots. I just think they're cute. So we are going to cut these in half. Just take out the pit, as much seeds as you can, and cut them in half. And then also chop up some green onions. We have some chives here that we will be adding into our cream cheese. Get some cream cheese, add that in a bowl, have some bacon bites as well. Some dill, thyme, pepper, and salt will do. And then we will just start. So, like I said, guys, I'm just going to be adding the ingredients that I just listed off. Chris, I just want you to talk about the next coalition. I will do this.
Sure.
Take one for the team.
Yeah, well, thank you. Black Americans, that's our next coalition that we're focusing on. This was started with the Walk Away movement back in 2018 with Candace Owens. Again, a lot of these tenets are very... they can be used all across the board. So we're talking family values, promoting economic freedom, and school choice. These are the things that matter to not just Black Americans, but other coalition members as well. I would say, so the next one would be our faith coalition. 3 things that we stand for with our faith coalition would be freedom to worship, faith-based leadership, and respect for sanctity. Now, the faith coalition is going to be multifaceted.
Okay.
It's going to be different denominations. You got Protestants and evangelicals. You've got Catholics. We're eventually going to get all of our other faith-based denominations involved in our faith coalitions. And what I really like about it, and it's something unique that no other organization has done, not that I've seen, is offer complimentary 501c4s to churches and faith-based organizations that want to get involved.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
So our 501c4s help separate them from their nonprofits. Most churches, most of these organizations are 501c3s, which are nonprofits, meaning they can't get involved in politics. However, the pastors, the faith leaders, and the congregations are all very political. They just don't know how to start. This is their push into politics using a 501c4. So when they sign on to be part of our alliance members, one of our alliance members, or part of our coalitions, that's when we help them get their 501c4 started so they can get involved in politics.
That is awesome to hear. Chris just basically explained how they get involved to be able to do this. So as you guys could see, I'm a great mixer.
Smells so good.
And we have our cream cheese filling. So now we're just going to take our cute little spatulas and go ahead and fill the mini bell peppers. So, but please continue. The next coalition. What's next?
Yeah, of course. So our next and final coalition is our Healthcare Workers Coalition. Now, this one started out of after COVID had happened. You had a lot of healthcare workers that were seeing what was going on with big pharma and with what was going on in their hospitals and their doctors' offices. People who had never gotten involved in politics before. They had always made healthcare their livelihood and their top priority. So then when you had COVID hit, people started to wake up and realize that, hey, maybe the government doesn't have their best interests at heart.
Absolutely.
Crazy idea, right? So,
oh my God, conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I take that as a badge of honor. So some of the things that our healthcare workers stand for are medical freedom, putting patients first, combating drug use, and my favorite, reforming the FDA.
Oh my goodness.
We don't like our three-letter agencies, do we, folks? So
no, we don't.
I'm all for reforming the FDA, and a lot of these things were thought of after or before and during and after COVID. So we have a lot of people, a lot of healthcare workers, specifically even some of our own staff at Turning Point are healthcare workers part-time, and they're involved in this coalition. So it's getting, again, people just like our faith-based organizations or our faith-based coalitions. These are interchangeable. These people have maybe never gotten involved in politics, but once we give them that little push, then they're finally saying, okay, these are the things that matter. Being involved in politics in some regard matters, whether I'm in healthcare, whether I'm in faith leadership, it matters. How do I get involved? This is how you get involved.
What an impact that can make. Wow, that is awesome to hear. And like I said, my mom is a healthcare worker, so she will definitely be joining in the Moms Coalition.
Wonderful. We'd love to have her.
Yeah. So what is our next coalition?
I believe that's all of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
I think we covered all of them.
Wow.
We did.
Okay. I was so involved with the conversation. Okay. That was a lot of information. Again, guys, you can find coalitions.com with Turning Point Action.
That's right. Coalitions.com, or you can go to tpaction.com/CTV Alliance. That way you can join our alliances. That's part of Chase the Vote. Do we have any more of these? Just this last one?
Yeah, last one. Your Honor.
So I noticed we have more excess of this than we did of the
the
eggs.
What's also a bonus, I mean, you can make more, obviously. Since it's just Chris and I, we will be finishing off this plate probably. But if you have extra, pretzels is also a great way that I just love to use this.
Pretzels
filling.
As in dipping them?
Yeah, like dipping them like with chips and stuff. So, okay, guys. So we have our cream cheese filled bell peppers. We'll be right back. We're gonna plate them, and we're gonna taste most of our dishes, and we'll tell you guys our honest opinion, and then we'll end our conversation. All right, be back in a second.
Stay tuned.
Okay, guys, so we're back. This is the end, unfortunately, but we do have our competition here. So, guys, what are you bringing to the Easter cookout? Obviously, we're bringing deviled eggs and cream cheese filled bell peppers. Chris, you try yours.
Oh, I was going to say, do you want to try each other's first, and then we'll see?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
I
right.
kind of want to do separate.
You want to?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying a deviled egg, and Chris is trying the bell pepper.
All right.
All right.
Wow. That's really good.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Your deviled egg is really good. I like the pickle you added in it. I think that does make a difference. How's the crunch with the bell pepper?
Excellent. I could eat these all day. Wow.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
And then go ahead and, you know what, just for fun.
Really can taste that butter and that
I know, and I can taste the bacon.
pickle. Oh, yeah, the bacon made it crunchy.
Yeah, good. So good. Other than that, guys, I just want to say thank you to Chris for coming on the show to talk about coalitions. Coalitions is obviously a great way for anyone to get involved. I know we've been talking about on the show about finding easy ways to get involved locally. And I think coalitions is something you can do if it, you know, agrees with your lifestyle and what's going on with your life. Please, please, please get involved. Chris, again, where can we go if we want to get involved with coalitions?
Sure. Coalitions.com. We're taking anyone and everyone who wants to get involved in chasing the vote. We really want these coalitions. To me, politics is a people's game. Mm-hmm. And we want coalitions to involve everyone. We want moms talking to moms. We want Latinos talking to Latinos. We want healthcare workers talking to healthcare workers, and so on. So best way you can get involved at a grassroots level is go to coalitions.com and sign up today to be a part of a coalition in your area. We're working out of 10 key swing states, but all these 10 swing states are greatly important to our victory in 2024. So if you have any questions, hopefully you're able to put the link.
I will put the link, and I'll put Chris's social media on there too. Right. Please go like, comment, subscribe. And guys, again, best little easy appetizers to bring to a cookout. Thank you, Chris, again for joining us. To everyone out there, my red, blue, and white Patriots, I want to let you guys know you guys are amazing. Here we are in 2024 together, and let's get involved and stay connected. So
thank you so much for having me on, by the way. I really
appreciate it. Of course, we'll bring Chris back. And guys, cheers. Happy Easter. Christ is risen. Hope everyone enjoys at home. Bye, guys.